Yes, yes, all right, folks, and just like that, we are back with another episode. Listen, this is one of the best moves, and you do not want to miss this breakdown I got for the SPY, all right? Also, OCTO, a 5,000% gain today. I want to check out that chart and give you some insights in the Discord on what's going on. And don't worry, the CPI data is coming out, right? And so that video over the weekend that I gave you guys, all right, the playbook for the A plus setups, it played out on SPY perfectly, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it, so get your notes ready. Get ready, guys, because what I have ready for you is going to be very interesting, all right? And I know what you came in for. I don't want to hold you long. Again, if this is your first time, I'm Coach UV, and this is the Unique Trading Group, where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. And we're going to get into it tonight. Listen, I want you guys to know, if you're a struggling trader, all right, no matter whether you're new, intermediate, or advanced, you ran across my page by chance, or you've been watching me for a long time, I want you guys to know that trading consistently is possible. All right, making a consistent income in trading is possible. And those who desire, who really study, all right, and take the time to practice and take notes and really treat this as a business and take it serious, these are the people who find consistency. It comes through discipline. Consistency is the key, all right, because anybody can click a button, anybody can win luckily, but you want a game plan, and that's what it's about. So after this break, we're going to get right into the meat. Remember, SPY, OCTO, all right? And we're also going to go talk about some other things. Let's get into it. I'll see you in a moment. All right, listen, here in the Discord exclusive, all right, we had the SPY trade put out at 2:06 p.m. Here was the trade idea. SPY 650 call, right? September 19 expiration. Simple, right? You go get the 650 call, you check out the September expiration date. The entry was 411. This is what I paid, 411, all right? Limit fill around current bidder ask, 407, 409, all right? It cost this much for one contract. Stop loss was at 360, all right? That means you were willing to lose at least 40, 50 bucks, right? So manage risk tight. That were the instructions. Manage your risk tight. Also, adjust if momentum confirms. The target was 1, all right? Target 1 and target 2, 475, 485. First scale out. Target 2, 525 and 540. That would mean that you would be making money from 411. So if it reached up to 5 something, close to 511, 525 from 411, that's about 100 bucks. All right, target 2. All right, making on that trade. The trade type was a scalp. All right. It could develop into swing depending on price action, and expiration was September 19th. Again, all right, my reasoning. SPY's trading around the 646, 647, right? Looking to retest that 650. Volatility setup. Playing a bounce, pushing to resistance, extra time built in for cushion. If volatility dies, cut early. If momentum confirms, scale into swing, hold. All right. Take profits at targets and don't overstay. This is a volatility scout first, swing second. Adjust, all right? Adjust your stop and trim risk if the market shifts. Now I'm going to take you over to the charts. We're going to see this play out on real time, 206, and we're going to get over to OCTO, that 5,000% gainer. But I want you guys to check out the accuracy in the Discord and how quickly these things can happen, all right? This is 10 years of experience, all right? Hit that like button, all right? Smash the like button if you're enjoying the video so far. If you're getting value, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell notification. That way you're informed when I drop valuable videos just like this one. So let's get into it. 648 on SPY. Now, what do we say? Let's go over it. Head over to the 5-minute time frame where we can see these intraday moves, okay? And bear with me as we navigate this screen. Okay. Now, I want you guys to remember, now we are at a very pivotal moment, all right? We have the economic data coming out very, very soon, and you really want to pay attention to whether or not you're chasing or you have a setup, a clear plan. If you're day trading, all right? If you're not familiar with this type of data that's coming out on Forex Factory, you really should sit out and just watch. But right now here in front of you, all right, finally the corporate SPY. What did we say, all right? We said that we wanted to buy 650 calls at 2:06 p.m. today, all right? And what did we do, okay? All right, right in front of you is the daily price movement range. All right, your green, yellow, and red. All right, green light for go as we go up, yellow light, we slow down a little bit, take some profit. We get above this way, and we're trying to retest these highs. So guys, this is nothing more than a breakout, pullback, retest. That's right, breakout, pullback, and retest of these highs. And that's what you have in front of you. I want you to understand that this is exactly what you see. And I asked the group to place calls. Okay, I wanted to place calls because I seen that retest, and we got that drop here at 647. All right, the point of control is at 646, 645. This is also the monthly close from August. All right, remember, it always plays out, and we have a simple technical bull structure right here. All right, we have higher lows coming off, but we don't have these higher highs, and so the bulls are trying to take out these highs. Right now we have continuation post market. All right, the price is at 649. At the time of that post, we were at 647. All right, and so if you took that trade with me, you guys are in the money. Congratulations. Now let's hop over to OCT. Oh wow, do you see this? Now right now you see $45, a 3,000% gainer today. All right, you will never ever see this at a bank. You understand? And this is setting up again. It's not really a meme stock when it has something behind it. Are they profitable? All right. What's going on with the balance sheet? Are they new? If they're new, then probably not. So, right, it's a future forward thinking type of thing. Sentiment. What does it stand for? All right. This has something to do with treasury and stable coins. And that's all I'll say right now. But this stock came out today at $1 and something change. And IPO'd it today. I caught it today. And I caught it out in the market. Inside of the Discord before the market opened. And I want to show you, this is the speed and accuracy you get when you join the unique trading group. It's very powerful. I'm very passionate about this, and we're dangerous over here. You understand? We're very dangerous, but in a smart way. So let's get inside the Discord quickly before we go over that chart. I know you see it. All right, this stock went up 5,000%. All right, so over in Stock Talk. All right, what do we have here? All right, so let's backtrack. All right, this was the video from last night. What's next for SPY? All right, playbook for A+ setups. All right, and we got exactly that. Check that video out. All right, in the YouTube feed if you missed it. All right, and send it to anyone you know that wants to keep up with SPY daily and weekly analysis. All right, so here we have. All right, welcome to the unique trading group. All right, 1,000% on the day. All right, so I posted this stock around 8:51. Now here in the United States, NYSE, all right, the New York Stock Exchange, the market opens up at 9:30 a.m. So this is technically about 30 minutes to 40 minutes before the market open here. All right, I seen this pop up on my alert, my scanner. All right, I know what to look for, and this stock was at $1.45. All right, it was only up about 14%. I want to say 1,000%, possibly right here. Yep, because it was at $1, and we went to 16. So it was at 16 before the market opened. So it was about 1,000%. All right, and I posted it at 8:51. And man, what do you know? This thing took off. By the time I posted the recap for yesterday before the market opened, we had a couple of alerts. This one went off. We didn't take this trade, but it was on the alert. All right, for you to see the speed and what's possible. The banks don't give you this kind of moves, right? All right. And so this was some actual good news. These stocks are experiencing some of these things where they're following Michael Saylor. They're following a strategy where they're adding Bitcoin to the treasury. And so these stocks are coming out, and stable coins are starting to be a thing. I'm going to be doing some videos about stable coins, a thorough video for beginners and for those who are interested in that world of crypto. So stay tuned. Now, let's get over to the charts. All right, 8:51. I put out that alert. All right, and what do we have? This stock shot all the way up to $80. Okay, in less than an hour. And the power of these moves are life changing. Now, they don't have options, and I usually trade options, but the power of these moves are life changing. Just buying shares. All right, so we're gonna revisit OCTO. Right now, I think that there's still some momentum left in this stock, but I would not suggest chasing. Okay, a lot of people made a lot of money, so it's going to be very volatile tomorrow. So you want to watch the levels of 41.90. All right, 41.90 and 33.19. 41.90 and 33.19. That 33 could be a place of bounce, right? But watch there, because if it's a weak hold or demand, we could flush back down to regular prices. Okay, remember, this stock just came out. Now, let's hop over to Tesla, and we're going to do Amazon to finish off the video. I thank you guys for staying with me this long. If you have, you must be finding some value. All right, Tesla. Now, as informed on a couple of videos before that, Tesla needed to get over 350. All right, in order to see some sort of continuation in that 360, 370 area. All right, we've already taken a dip back down. All right, and what we want to see is we wanted to see Tesla stay over 340. Those first numbers we gave out weeks ago, if you guys are part of the Discord, then you already know those first ones we gave out, those numbers were 318. All right, it was 318 for Tesla, and we always pop back to 333 or 320, 325, 328. These same numbers tend to play out over and over, and so I wanted to go over Tesla. All right, shout out to a guy in the YouTube comments who watches religiously. I appreciate you watching. He said that he was bullish on Tesla and you wanted to check out Amazon, so here I am sticking true to my word. Okay, so Tesla, okay, right in front of you. Okay, we're gonna go to the 4-hour. And remember, there was a 4-hour 30-minute combo on that SPY trade that I gave away inside of the community and on my YouTube, and we played that same setup, and that's why we took those calls. And SPY is running right now towards the upside. Now that's traded with no fear. Now, as you can see, Tesla is right now inside of a bear move, inside of this range, okay, inside of this daily price movement range. Now, if you go to the daily, what you see is that Tesla is showing indecision. All right, we have some strength, but we need to break over these highs. All right, we have a technical bear trap. All right, if you know anything about my trading, then you understand race theory. That's right, race theory, RACE. All right, it stands for race. All right, it's an acronym that stands for range, auction, control, and execution. All right, you can check out that video inside of my YouTube playlist. It's the race theory, and I actually did it on Tesla, where it's a road. Look in front of you. You see how you driving on the road, you have the lines on the outside and the white in the middle and the yellow on the outside, all right? And you have your slow lane and your fast lane, right? And so if you're on the highway driving, all right now Tesla's in a slow lane trying to gain momentum. They're trying to get back on the highway, all right? But we have to get past these points. And in order for Tesla to do that, all right, you want to catch a pullback. If we're bullish on the higher time frame, all right, a little bit more than we have been, we are continue to see higher lows, but we haven't quite made higher highs just yet. All right, once we start seeing price close above these highs, then that's when we can say we're bullish to retest and take out some of these previous highs here at around in the 380s, 350s, and 400. That's when we're able to do that. But for now, we must get past these levels here. And so if we're bullish on a high time frame consistently, then you want to try to find a pullback level on an entry on a smaller time frame, like a 15-minute to 5 or maybe even a 30, because Tesla is volatile and you get those moves back to back. And so what do you have here? A technical W shape on a daily time frame. Okay, we got to get past 355.39, all right? 355.39 is the next target for Tesla. If we get a great pullback, all right, catch some bears at the bottom, this will be where it swings to retest 355, all right? We close at 346.40, all right? Right now we are below that, and so we are still trying to find, Tesla's trying to figure itself out, all right? But I'm still bullish, but we need to close above. Sorry, we need to open above this close in order to see bullish continuation, and check out the monthly. All right, you want to keep your eyes out on the monthly. The monthly close is the catalyst for all stocks that you are trading. Okay, you want to understand what that was, where that number is, so that it can always act as a reference for you to understand whether you should be buying the dip on the extreme, right, like the last line in the sand at that number, the closing price, or should we be buying the dip when we're above it? If it gets below it, are we going to turn bearish? Last month's closing price, all right, this was for August. Last month closing price for August was 333.87. All right, so as long as we are above 333.87, Tesla can remain bullish, and that can be another pullback zone for you at 333, because these numbers act like magnets. So as the days go by and data comes out and you start to see the red candles come and fall back, be asking yourself a question: is this happening because of the data, ironically, and is this an area for me to buy because we're above the monthly close? All right, be that person to make the money without fear, but just trading the flow of the market and human behavior. You understand what I'm saying to you? I hope so. All right. So those are my thoughts on Tesla. Look for 345. Also, entry data hold as a place of a midway level between 350 and 340. So that's what you want to watch out for. Whether you're a scalper or a day trader or a swing trader, you want to understand these intricacies of the market. Now, let's move over to Amazon. All right. Thank you guys for rocking with me. And we're going to swing back to the SPY and finish out these videos with the recap that I promised. All right. Listen. Amazon, all right. Amazon is looking really, really good right now. I'm pretty sure that there's some data coming out. All right. Here we go. All right. Goldman Sachs highlighted that Amazon capital expenditure growth is valid. All right. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Growth is vital for valuing AI infrastructure stocks in the overall AI market strength. All right. Okay. So we have some news, and Amazon is actually above right now. So shout out to the guy who gave this out in the comment for me to check out Amazon. I actually do like Amazon. Haven't been trading it, and I don't even have long shares in Amazon. Shame on me, right? So what I want to say is same thing with Tesla, same thing with SPY. All right. Are we still bullish? All right. What is it looking like? Let's check that out real quickly. All right. Here on the monthly. All right. So we have, right, higher lows. We don't have higher highs just yet. So let's check out the closing price of the monthly last month. All right, for August. All right, that closing price was $229. All right, so as long as we stay above 229, we are bullish, and it is a pullback zone. 229 can act as a demand level all around ironic data. All right, anything that makes the market pull back. If we're bullish on a smaller time frame, and if it pulls back, then all right, then you could be thinking bullish to buy the dip on a higher low. All right, it just makes sense. This is the way the market works. It's the mechanics. All right, again, we need to stay above 235 and stay bullish from yesterday. Day to day as a day trader, and we are doing that. All right, as long as we do that and stay above, we can buy the dip on a fallback to 235, understanding that we could stay above there. Just to watch to say, hey, can we stay above 35 on a pullback? If so, we want to buy that higher low. Okay, if we do fall below 235, okay, what levels are you looking for? Of course, 233, 230, and of course 329. All right, why? Because that's the closing price of last month. If we ever get below 229 on the monthly, it's going to see some bearish pressure on Amazon. Remember I said that. All right, thank you guys for listening for that. Now let's double back on SPY inside of this daily price movement range. Listen, guys, it's nothing but a pendulum swing, and we go from range to pillar to post. All right, same thing every day, back to back. All right, this is nothing more but a breakout, pullback, retest. Okay, a breakout, pullback, retest. And so I'm bullish. Market right now is going up. SPY is up. All right, want you guys to stay safe out there and trade smart. Okay, trade smart. If you know anyone, if you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, click that link below. All right, we are there for you. Also, if you're a reader, there's a book that I published for the trading community tailored around options, but it's also about risk management and personal development. Okay, you guys got to understand discipline and how to work patience in your favor to make money, having a setup, all right, a process, and not focusing on the money. It has to be that way. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go over to some commentary before we end this video. It's been about 18 minutes. All right. We're going to end it in a couple minutes, but I wanted you guys to get this gist and learn some things, some insights from some smart people. All right. And just to understand the accuracy of what I bring and why it's a very serious thing to know. All right. So let's get over there and let's check out some commentary.
Audience, like on a big picture, what's your strategy? Like you mentioned the opening range breakout a lot. Could you explain to everyone, big picture wise, what is that strategy?
So that strategy is when your stock is first of all, it has to be in play. So it means gapping up or gapping down or have very significant amount of volume. It doesn't work on any stock. Like if you give me a random ticker like Ford today, it doesn't work probably. So it has to be something that has some fundamental news on it, like Tesla. Tesla today was the earning yesterday and that activity. So I look at the stock is how it's trading at the pre-market. Is it trading above VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price, or below that? If this stock is squeezing above the VWAP and shows them a strength in the first minute or 5 minutes, then I can take that trade into the direction of the breakout. So that would be 5 minutes. So look at the first candlestick, 5 minutes. If it's bullish above the VWAP, you go long. You put the stop loss below the VWAP, and you try to get to the breakout of pre-market high or the next technical level that you have.
Okay.
All right, we're going to stop right there on that video. We're going to switch over to the recap from the spot playbook real quickly, guys. Let's check it out. We know that a technical trap means that we can get this explosive move the same way we got here. All right, things tend to repeat themselves, you see. As I move over the chart, you can actually see that demand was here before again. So it's not really that hard to imagine. You understand what I'm saying? This is why volume profile is so powerful. It's actually showing you right now on the chart, the SPY is a byproduct of the future movements. And right now, the futures market is going up. All right. Like I said, the futures market is going up. And I'm going to show you the NASDAQ. This is not ES, the futures market, but this is the SPY, and we're going to be focusing on that. Now, the gamma and the squeeze dynamics. Like, this is going to layer in the options positioning with quadruple witching right around the corner. All right, the gamma dynamics are amplified. So at these key nodes that I'm giving you, 647.53 midway point. All right, if we break past that, the next level we're trying to get to is 652. All right, so the gamma squeeze is at 647. That creates the conditions for either gamma squeeze where price gets pinned and rip higher, or a gamma unwind where it accelerates lower. So we have to watch the opening price. All right, don't chase. Do not chase in the morning. I'm telling you guys, do not chase. All right, risk. All right, risk. Here's the thing. Now listen, I'm going to stop it right there. Why? Because we're going to go to this chart quickly so you guys can see the accuracy on why I say this is how you day trade for a living with a plan. Now, you just heard the 5-minute strategy, right? You just heard me talk about the trap and breaking over these highs, okay? So that was the following day. All right. And what did we get? Okay. 647, we broke above it. This is a 5-minute time frame on SPY. 5-minute candle, if you can see that. And I do have on the Heikenashis here, but you can still see price movement. 5 minutes, we got above that number I said, 647 on that recap. We got above it, went to 649, and then we fell back. Okay, that was pre-market. We fell back. Okay, now think about this: the pullback, right? Bounce off of that closing price from the previous day. See that? Bounced again twice. Bounced again 3 times. Bounced again 4 times. That same closing price that is staying above. See, everything correlates. The messages I gave you just for the stocks I gave you, Amazon, Tesla, OCTO, SPY. You understand? This is what matters, the process, and having something that works. If this is resonating with you, I'm telling you, hit the like button, subscribe, and share with anybody, because I'm really giving you guys really good game. You understand? Giving you game right now. The only difference is emotions and discipline and knowing how to do things in the moment. That's what mentorship is for, and that's what a family is for. You understand? So click that link below. All right, if you guys have enjoyed this video, consider subscribing again. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up this video tonight. You guys be looking out for the halftime show and also some more discipline in the discipline files. All right, so we're gonna move on. Now, I want you guys to always remember that it's always about the process over the profits. All right, always remember to define your entry, your exit, and your risk before every trade. That matters. That really matters. Okay, you got to understand that, because first of all, think about something. Think about this. Tomorrow, all right, tomorrow, for example, we have the economic data coming out Tuesday, right? We got the Wednesday economic data coming out as well. That PPI number coming out. And so you want to watch for the SPY at 650 for that to continue to be a wall. As you can see, price has rejected here. And so once these bulls take their profit, all right, we can either reject that 650 to retest these levels here now, or we can rip higher on that news. And that's what you want to be waiting for so you can react. Listen, the news is noise, but the technicals speak volumes. And as long as we are above the daily movement price range, right, above the previous close, we are going to stay bullish and can act as a magnet to buy the dip. Always remember that, guys. That's why this is the unique trading group, because this is where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. It's been a great one. Hope you guys enjoy. Until the next time, peace.